Hi, I'm Rod Gilley, founder and CEO of RDG Books Press. Today, I want to call out to writers for the 2025 submission calls at RDG Books Press. We have three coming up, and I want to go over some of the details for each one so writers will know what we're looking for and what they can expect to receive. So to try to get right on into it, we'll go on to the first one, the fantasy novel. What we're looking for with the fantasy novel is adult fantasy. At this time, RDG Books Press doesn't publish YA. So we're looking for a fantasy world with fantasy creatures, past, present, or future, this world or another world. I really don't like to put limitations on the writer's creativity and imagination. So any of the above that I just said is good. All right, the requirement will be for the fantasy novel 75,000 words minimum, 100,000 words maximum. Your manuscript that you submit must be within that word count. Fire up your creativity. Use your imagination. Write us an original fantasy story. It can be a hero's journey. It can be character-driven, plot-driven. It's got to have some sort of magic. I really like stories with witches and goblins and wizards and any kind of creature or known person that, personage that isn't related to fantasy. And, unicorns, whatever. But I would like you to keep the theme adult. And, we want to have some action. We want to have, things that hold you to the page. Of course, there can be some romance. There can be some scary horror type stuff. Let your imagination go crazy. The fantasy novel submission call will open July 1st, 2025. And that submission call will stay open until October 31st, 2025. So anywhere within those dates, you can submit your manuscript to be considered. I'll talk a little later about details, but that's the gist of it. Next up, we have the horror novel submission call. Now, on this submission call, what I'm looking for is a good, scary story. I know how popular gore and body horror, ripping out intestines, pulling out eyeballs, I know that stuff has gotten pretty popular. But I think a little bit, at least from my perspective, a little bit tired. I want a good, scary horror story. I want to get goosebumps when I read your manuscript. I want to turn the light on because, well, I was reading it in the dark and I just think I need to turn on the light. You get the idea. Otherwise, your imagination and creativity can just go wild. On the horror novel, the word count is minimum 70,000 words, maximum 90,000 words. And again, your manuscript that you submit needs to be within those ranges. Any less or any more won't be considered. The horror novel submissions call will open on August 1st, 2025, and will run until November 28th, 2025. So that'll be a good little window of time to get your story polished up a little bit, get it all together, and a little bit later I'll talk about the details. I hope you'll be excited to write a real scary story. Okay, the third and final submission call for 2025, I think is pretty exciting. We're going to do the RDG Books Press Horror Anthology Volume 4 and Volume 5. And that submission call will open September 1st and will stay open until December 31st. Now, what we want for the Horror Anthology Volume 4 and Volume 5 is no holds barred, extreme horror. Oh yeah, let your imagination and creativity run wild. Anything considered to be extreme, adult, gripping, exciting, scary. That's what we're looking for. And the word count for the Horror Anthology Volume 4 and the Volume 5 is a minimum 3,000 words, maximum 8,000 words. That's a nice window, so you can really put together a good story with plenty of room in there. I'm really excited about that one because we did the Horror Anthology Volume 1 through 3. It's Dark in Their Minds. And that was a whole lot of fun. There's some fantastic stories in there. So in Volume 4 and Volume 5, I want to open the door for the extreme horror writer. So yes, there'll be extreme violence, sex, maybe a mix of both, who knows. Let your imagination run wild. Give us a good, scary story. Okay, that covers the 3 submission calls that we will have in 2025. Here's a little bit on details. Okay, the first detail you need to be aware of is I want original creative works from real writers. RDG Books Press will not publish a book written in part or in whole by AI. If I wanted the Tin Man to write a story, why would I call out to authors? I want real writers, real human beings with imagination, creativity, and a desire to move their career along by submitting a story to RDG Books Press. Now, there are a lot of details. I'm going to get into those a little bit more here, but I want to direct you to the rdgbookspress.com website. A lot of details are available there and really, really easy to browse through. There's a little list of links at the top of the page that can take you to each one of these. On our website, you'll see the current submission. As each submission date comes up, the information for that call will be added to that page. You'll also see a little link to our royalties page. We provide a unique royalty. RDG Books Press doesn't do advances. That's not part of our game. What we do for the fantasy novel and the horror novel is that we will pay you. That means money in your pocket, not in advance. $100 for your story, plus our really awesome royalty. All the details are on the website, and you can check it out. And but that money paid to you is not an advance. Realistically, an advance is just a loan. Yes, the publisher gives you some money, but you don't see any royalties until that's matched. So basically, you're getting a loan and you're paying it back with your royalties. That won't happen at RDG Books Press. We pay you outright, right off the top, for your story. And then if it's a novel or a novella, we include that payment and the long-term royalty. If short stories, we give you a set price, which will be detailed on the webpage. And you have either the option or the plus of a paperback copy of the book. And all writers get an ebook pub or ebook copy of the book or story or the book that their story's in. I don't know. I guess you get it. I'm going to have to do some serious editing in this. So anyway, I'd like to direct you to rdgbookspress.com. Look at the little menu at the top. There's links there for current submissions, royalty, and our process. All of that is spelled out really clearly. And of course, you can contact me on the contact page and ask any question you like. I'm also on Twitter at BratRod64, and you can find me there and ask me any question to get a quick response. So I have tried to cover the details of what we're looking for. I do want to reiterate We don't do AI, period. If you write with or AI writes for you, RDG Books Press is not the place. Don't bother submitting. If you are a real writer with an imagination and creativity, we would love to see your work. Well, I want to try to keep this video reasonably short. I just wanted to get some information out there about our upcoming submission calls. And I really hope you're excited. There's some fun stuff to do there. And I look forward to seeing your manuscripts. Have a wonderful day.